It's Friday, December 5th. In the headlines, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness calls for immediate use of idle sugar lands. Tax Administration Jamaica announces limited services at select Western Jamaica locations following Hurricane Melissa. In business news, farmers to get $20 million in insurance payouts. Regionally, Trinidad and Tobago hosts high-level SIDS meeting on climate and development. And in sports, coaches appointed for Jamaica's national football teams. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness wants unused and underutilized former sugar lands to be put back into immediate production. He made the call this week while breaking ground for the $50 million Tropical Sugar Company Limited in Chesterfield, Clarendon, a major project aimed at reviving sugar production in South Clarendon and creating roughly 2,000 direct and indirect jobs.
We want the modern sugar industry, one that is vertically integrated, one that is going to process the value in the sugar cane and get as much value out of it before you export it.
The new factory will sit on about 13,000 acres of former sugar lands, managed by the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings. But the Prime Minister says tens of thousands of acres remain idle, and he wants to see them productively used.
And to those persons who are looking on at the other 38,000 acres that is available, I have given directives to the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce through to JAMPRO, that we welcome your interest and we will support you through the process to develop a sustainable business plan for the remaining unused and underutilized lands that are here.
He says some lands no longer suitable for cane can be used to plant orchards, while other areas could support small-scale farming initiatives targeting youth and women. The push to reactivate former sugar lands is part of a wider strategy to boost food security, attract investment, and expand rural employment. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, has announced a temporary waiver of import permits for a wide range of medical and personal care items to speed up hurricane relief efforts. CEO and Commissioner of Customs, Dr. Velma Ricketts Walker, says in a statement, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has suspended permit requirements until March 31, 2026 for items such as over-the-counter medicines, sanitizers, disinfectants, first aid kits, and water purification tablets. The move aims to accelerate clearance items at the ports and ensure quicker delivery of essential supplies following Hurricane Melissa. Dr. Ricketts Walker notes that the waiver has already reduced processing delays, especially for shipments from donors. She adds that the measure forms part of a coordinated national effort by Customs, ODPEM, health authorities, and port and airline operators to ensure priority goods reach affected communities quickly. Tax Administration Jamaica says in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, operations across several locations in Western Jamaica have been disrupted. The agency explains in a release that the affected locations include Montego Bay Revenue Service Center, Falmouth Tax Office, Jacksontown Tax Office, Darleston Tax Office, Lucy Tax Office. The Montego Bay Revenue Service Center remains open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., providing all regular services except same-day driver's license processing. Meanwhile, the Falmouth, Jacksontown, Darlaston, and Lucy tax offices are operating from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. These offices are currently able to issue previously processed documents only, including driver's licenses, motor vehicle registration, plates, motor vehicle titles, taxpayer registration number cards. Support for TAJE services, including electronic motor vehicle registration, is also available at these locations. Customers accessing e-services must bring their own digital devices with internet connectivity. About 100 shelters remain operational across Jamaica, housing 1,107 people displaced by Hurricane Melissa. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management's Director General, Commander Alvin Gale, told this week's post-cabinet briefing that shelter residents continue to receive meals, hygiene supplies, medical care, and psychosocial support.
Partners in this sector include the Social Development Cooperation, UNICEF, UNESCO, and the International Organization for Migration. They continue to strengthen our shelter management processes through assessments, training, and the activation of reporting systems across parishes.
The Jamaica Constabulary Forces Community Safety and Security Branch has also been conducting welfare checks and has distributed roughly 10,500 care packages to affected communities.
I will indicate as well that Jamaica's security environment remains stable throughout this period. Across the island, some 1.6 million buildings have been assessed by GeoAI. Of that number, we have now assessed 215,000 to have some level of damage. It is estimated that 156,000 of these buildings will have varying degrees of roof damage.
The Christmas holidays are upon us, and many of us are planning to visit the beach or the river, but people are encouraged to be vigilant. Jamaica's beach safety regulations are primarily outlined in the Beach Control Act and associated safety measures regulations, managed by the National Environment and Planning Agency. Here's more on this from the Jamaica Information Service.
The beach, the sunshine, sea breeze, the sound of waves, and memories you want to savor. But have you ever stopped to think, is everyone enjoying the beach safely and responsibly? Whether you're a strong swimmer or just dipping your toes, water safety matters for everyone. Every year, millions visit our water bodies, which include our beaches, rivers, and waterfalls, but not everyone knows the risks. Rip currents, sudden depth changes, slippery rocks, strong undercurrents, and a host of other hazards. But these dangers can be mitigated.
There is a Beach Control Safety Measures Regulation of 2006, and that regulation speaks specifically to the requirements for safety on the beach for patrons. The regulations speak to the question of lifeguards being on the beach, the roles and responsibilities of the lifeguard to ensure that they have control over what's happening on the beach. And so when you go to a beach, you want to ensure that the area is buoyed and that we have lifeguards.
And don't forget, risky behavior like cliff diving or swimming after drinking, not worth it. Also, never swim alone, and non-swimmers must always wear a life jacket.
When visiting beaches, it's important to ensure that you're swimming where lifeguards are present. Never swim alone, always have somebody with you just in case. Remember to stay hydrated, wear the proper sunscreen, make sure that it's reef safe if you can. Always keep an eye out for children or those around you. Never go do anything unsupervised and just have fun, you know. It's supposed to be a fun time, and you can have fun and be safe at the same time.
Jamaica and the world lost a legendary voice with the passing of reggae icon Jimmy Cliff at 81. Chanel Matthews went out to hear which of his songs people love the most.
My love is sweeter than devotion, so bring out the love in me.
I am Chanel Matthews, and this is Unfiltered. In light of the passing of renowned reggae icon Jimmy Cliff, we're engaging members of the public to share their favorite songs.
There's a lot of Jimmy Cliff songs that I like, you know.
That one's simple. The harder they come, the harder they fall, you know. The harder they come, the harder they fall, one and all, yeah.
That's just the rebel in me and the rebel in you, yeah. Bring out the love, yeah.
Many rivers to flow, of course.
Many rivers to cross, and I can't seem to find my way over.
If you want me to sing it for you. Is that the rebel in me? Is that the rebel in you?
My favorite song from Jimmy Cliff is The Harder Them Come.
Is that the rebel we need to bring sweet harmony, so you can bring out the love, bring out the love, bring out all the love.
Yeah, big up Mr. Cliff.
Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Dr. David Lowe, head of the Development Bank of Jamaica, offers the recipe for Jamaica going forward as a climate risk environment. Speaking at the JMMB's Group's Thought Leadership Breakfast on Thursday, December 4, 2025, Dr. Lowe outlined the pillars. Renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, and digital innovation is the way forward at the agriculture level. At the financial level, catastrophe bonds and risk-sharing mechanisms to safeguard against future shocks is the next step. Dr. Lowe then stated that empowering human capital with skills for green and digital jobs and fostering community-led rebuilding efforts is how to take job creation to the next level in Jamaica. And then real-time data are essential for informed decision-making and transparent public-private partnerships that enhance disaster response and resilience. Harold Davis, acting CEO of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, says the insolvency framework as a realistic tool for debt recovery and business rehabilitation, especially as firms continue to recover from the economic fallout of Hurricane Melissa. Entrepreneurs are facing weakened cash flow, damaged assets, and higher operating costs, while national forecasts suggest slowed growth and ongoing inflationary pressure. These conditions leave MSMEs exposed and make timely financial intervention critical. Davis says against this background, one of the JBDC's newest partnerships with the Office of the Government Trustee is designed to stimulate the MSME ecosystem on the matter of debt and to raise awareness on the solutions available. For the trading period ending December 4, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Kintyre Holdings Jamaica Limited with 8,318,927 units representing 34.35% of sales volume. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 4,163,209 units, representing 17.19% of sales volume. Lasco Manufacturing Limited with 3,324,673 units, representing 13.73% of sales volume. We now shift to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On December 4, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $47.84 million purchased and US $51.60 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.83 per dollar, selling the US at $159.38 and buying the US at $161.21. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.86 per transaction, with selling at $113.75 and buying at $111.89. The British pound yielded Forex traders $1.04 in profits, with selling at $213.32 and buying at $214.36. For our credit report tip of the day, when borrowing becomes more expensive and lenders tighten their standards, small business owners face a reality that tests discipline, confidence, and determination. This isn't the moment to pull back. It's the moment to reinforce your financial foundation, sharpen your credit profile, strengthen cash flow, expand your banking relationships, and build liquidity so that you can move from a place of power instead of pressure. By embracing alternative financing options and positioning your business as stable and well managed, you rise above uncertainty and stay ready for the opportunities that appear when others are unprepared. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago is hosting global discussions on climate, development, and the future. For the next few days, government representatives, international delegates, and various experts will come together for the 6th meeting of the Small Island Developing States National Focal Points Working Session.
A working session focused on turning plans into action, from climate resilience to sustainable development, which could shape the future of small island developing nations worldwide. From December 4th to the 6th, Trinidad and Tobago will host the Small Island Developing States National Focal Points Working Session. According to Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Dr. Kennedy Sarat Singh, this network is the bridge between global aspirations and national implementation.
The 6th in-person meeting is therefore not just a conference. It is a working session designed to strengthen the capacity required to implement, monitor, and evaluate the ABAS effectively. A key outcome over the next 2 days will be the development of a practical monitoring and evaluation toolkit.
He explained that while strong data systems and evidence-based reporting are vital for tracking progress and accountability, they must be supported by an all-of-society approach from the partners present today. Still, he said, monitoring and evaluation cannot stand alone.
This requires securing adequate financing, investing in technologies and skills, and pursuing innovative mechanisms and emerging financial instruments that can sustainably support the ABAS.
United Nations Development Programme Resident Representative Hugo Blanco said, these discussions aim to find solutions to challenges shared by all small island developing states. However, he acknowledged that achieving this is not an easy task.
Small sometimes it's a challenge, additional vulnerabilities, that's why we have to work together. We have a plan. All the seats in the world came together in Antigua and Barbuda last year. we have a plan, but we have to implement it. We have to monitor it. We have to make sure that we can track progress. And that's what we are supposed to be doing the next 3 days here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Under Secretary General and High Representative for the Least Developed Countries at the UN, Rabab Fatima, addressing the conference virtually, urged all participating members to continue working together and sharing experiences outside of these working sessions. Jason John, TTT News.
Barbados is strengthening its fight against climate change using data, artificial intelligence, and innovation. That message came out clearly on Thursday at the opening of the National Workshop on Evidence-Based Climate Action for Maritime Trade, Transport and Fisheries, held at the conference room of the UN House. More from CBC News.
Barbados is putting data at the center of its climate response as local and international experts gather for a 2-day national workshop focused on strengthening statistics for climate action in the maritime sector. The workshop is part of the regional project dubbed Evidence-Based Climate Action through Artificial Intelligence and Data Innovation for Caribbean Small Island Developing States. Senior statistician at the Barbados Statistical Service, Janelle Scantlebury-Munzi, said high-quality data is now a strategic national asset.
Statistics have become a strategic asset, shaping how we negotiate, how we prepare, how we respond, and how we are perceived on the global stage. In this environment, decisions cannot be guided by assumptions. The key areas where official statistics and maritime affairs intersect include the collection and analysis of data related to maritime trade, transport, and fisheries.
Director of Foreign Trade in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Paula Bayer, told delegates that this country's economic survival depends on reliable maritime trade. She warned that climate change is already disrupting coastal communities.
Barbados well understands that the sustainable harnessing of resources is central to our survival. For example, the harvesting, consumption, import, and export of fish and fish products in Barbados is likely to contribute much more than captured officially. I hope this workshop will assist us in the full representation of this and other ocean-based sectors. As our society and environment becomes more complex, the value of information increases. Without the evidence to substantiate our experience of vulnerability in the face of climate and other crises, our efforts ring hollow.
Chief Fisheries Officer Dr. Shellyan Cox highlighted the fisheries sector's heavy dependence on fossil fuels and the urgent need for a just energy transition. She revealed statistics about the country's registered fishing fleet.
At the end of 2024, the registered fishing fleet was estimated at 1,062 vessels, 90% of which were manufactured in Barbados. In recent times, and of course post-Beryl, since the fishery sector is still recovering, we have an active fleet of 217 boats.
Over the next 2 days, participants will focus on strengthening data collection, improving policy coordination, and using innovation to build climate resilience in Barbados' ocean economy. The workshop continues tomorrow with technical sessions on artificial intelligence, emissions tracking, and sustainable fisheries management. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
In sports, we talk football. Former Reggae Boys captain Rudolph Austin has been promoted to head coach of the Jamaican national under-20 men's team. The Jamaica Football Federation made the announcement on Thursday. Austin's promotion was part of a raft of appointments by the JFF on Thursday. He will be assisted by the experienced Wendell Downswell. Downswell will be the head coach of the national under-17 team and will be assisted by Vassal Reynolds, Carlton Simmons, and Altamont Freddie Butler. Laycraft Letman will continue as under-20 women's head coach and will be assisted by Tamira Williams, who is also the head coach of the under-14 girls and will also be head coach of the national girls under-15 team. The Caribbean Premier League and the government of Barbados are moving full speed ahead with preparations for the 2026 final. CEO of the CPL, Pete Russell, was in Barbados for the last few days, wrapping up meetings for the tournament final, and he spoke to CBC Sports before his departure.
The Caribbean Premier League, the biggest party in sports, will bowl off on August 7th, 2026 and conclude 44 days later right here in Barbados. The region's Mecca, Kensington Oval, will stage the final for the first time in the tournament's 13-year history. And in an exclusive interview with CBC Sports, Chief Executive Officer of the CPL, Pete Russell, says Barbadians can expect a high-quality production for the final.
It's about getting all the agencies working together. So whenever you're putting an event of this magnitude on, you need everyone to be working in the same direction. And we've had fantastic support. So the meetings here have been with obviously BCMI, Sports Ministry as well. So everyone's on the same page. And planning it now gives us a lot of time to make sure we've got all everything right and in the right place. And also, of course, we want people from around the world to travel in and watch the games.
Russell says from a tourism perspective, CPL is becoming a very important driver.
Yeah, lots of reasons why we felt this would be the right place to host it. And then, of course, it's always down to the economics. I mean, can we all afford it and all that good stuff. But, delighted the Prime Minister played a key role, obviously, in making sure that the games came here. And we're going to make sure we deliver big time.
For the players, 2026 will be unique and has been renamed the Great Reset. It's an opportunity for our franchises like the Barbados Royals to build a stronger, more dynamic unit, having finished bottom of the table this year.
The reset with the players is everyone goes back into the pond, as we like to call it, and then it's a normal draft. So each team will select, obviously, their players depending on where they are in the draft pick. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. There's going to be lots of changes, of course, with players moving around. But I think that's important. I think fans want to see that. And it also means that the teams have a sort of an equaliser, so we're sort of back on an even keel to some degree.
Currently, there are 6 franchises, but the big question is, will we see the return of the Jamaica Talawas in season 14 to make it 7? The Talawas competed from 2013 and won 3 titles before being put on a hiatus as of 2024, effectively being replaced by the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons franchise.
I would hope there'll be a new franchise. I think we've sort of spoken enough about where and how that could come about. But again, there's many moving parts to that. We're going to make sure that get the right ownership group in, and also that the government in that particular country is ready to host.
The CEO says for a tournament that punches above its weight, it's still challenging for the CPL to find the right window where all the West Indies and overseas players are available. So with that being said, put it in your Rolodex or Google Calendar. The finals of the Caribbean Premier League, September 20th, 2026 at Kensington Oval. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
That's it for the weekend news. Have a good weekend.